Yay Networks.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like it's been forever since we've been together, yet our episodes drop every Tuesday.
Have we missed 2 weeks or 1 week?
I think 2, because I was on vacation and then you were.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. It's
I know. It's good to see you.
It's glad to be here.
It's glad to be here.
Glad to be here. This is Emily.
And hey, and I'm Laura. That's who I am.
And this is
Cheers to that shit.
We are professional as
Yep.
ever.
Yeah, I was just thinking how so much has happened over the past couple of weeks.
I was just thinking if this was a new person listening today, that they are already wrapped in. They are already have high expectations.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know.
Welcome if it is your first time.
Yeah.
We're glad to be here. Oh my gosh. Have you been up to anything fun? Mm-hmm. We talked about your vacation. It's only been 1 week because we talked about No,
I was on vacation and then you went on vacation. Or no, was there a week in between?
There was a week in between.
Oh, see, yeah, we did talk about my vacation last
It's
time.
just when that summer sun starts coming in,
Yeah.
our brains start kind of chilling out and we're like, fuck it. Who cares?
The beverages are cold and go down easy.
Speaking of, we're both drinking water today, which is very unlike us.
Well, I have to do something responsible after this, so I can't drink. And
I just forgot.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I did. Why don't you say what you have to be responsible for after this?
Yeah, my doggy had puppies. I am getting into dog breeding. I've been a guardian for a while and have been wanting to get out on my own. So this is my last litter with another breeder, and then I'll be doing it on my own. But they are multi-gen Australian Labradoodles. But you know that. Yeah. I guess I'm just telling all the people out there who just want to know. She had nine. Puppies. I took 9. 9.
I took 9.
I think I might have a problem.
We should do that.
No, it's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
And they're so adorable.
Yeah, they are really cute.
They're like 3 days old.
And she named them after the Friends characters.
Yeah.
So they're...
Yeah. Well, it was funny because there were 3 girls and 3 boys initially, the 6 that were born. Yeah. So I was like, perfect. Ross, Chandler, Joey, Monica, Rachel, Phoebe.
Done.
And then she had a 7th. So we named him Gunther. Yeah. And then she had an 8th. So we named her Janice, which I was like, oh, Janice. And then I was like,
my God.
I was like, I don't like this puppy already. So now I have to be like, oh, I do like Janice. And then crazy, like 2 hours later, she had another puppy, which is very unusual. Yeah. If you know anything about dogs, they don't go that long in between delivery. So another boy, and he's Mike.
That one just needed a little extra time. He was like, I just can't right now. This is just a lot of pressure. I need a minute.
But it's been great. It's been great having them around again.
Well, we went on a family vacation. It was the first out of all the times that I've traveled with both my girls. Mm-hmm. This is the first vacation that we've been on that it was just the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing. It was really great. We went to Greenville, South Carolina.
Or you mean like even because normally you'll travel the 4 of you, but you're going to see other people.
Yeah. Like we've traveled just the 4 of us, right. But like you've always gone to a destination either like to meet up with my parents or meet up with Ryan's family. This was the first time all week.
Just a little family vacation.
Yeah. So we went to Greenville, South Carolina just for a night and that was Easter dinner. and we record weeks and like a week or so ahead. So like, okay. And, and then we went to Atlanta and we went to the aquarium and then we went to the Coca-Cola Museum and Lorna got and Buggy got hyped up on sugar, like full on buzzed. And my youngest was just not. She was like, I'm out. This isn't fun for me anymore. I want to take a nap. Ryan and I were loving it. They have a tasting room and they had this disgusting soda. It was called the Beverly. It's been discontinued. I said, it's like, Ryan, what flavor, if someone was like, hey, what flavor do you feel like this tastes like? He was like, good question. This flavor of soda came from the river in Savannah. We dipped a little bit of our flavor fillers in there, and then just spritz some grapefruit on top of it.
Ew.
It was so fucking
It was like
nasty.
cola?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ew.
And then another one tasted like fizzy barbecue sauce.
Ew.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
I think they just make that crap to have something in the museum to do.
I get
Like, it
all the
couldn't-
other ones were really good. All the other ones were really good. My favorite one was the Romanian Sprite. It had cucumber in it.
Oh.
It was very nice.
Okay.
And then we just drove through to Savannah and went to Hilton Head for the rest of the week, and it was
Nice.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
We saw a bald eagle on the beach.
Oh, even nicer.
I guess, yeah. Ryan thought it was really cool.
Well, good for you. Oh, I didn't know how to segue into that
okay.
at all.
I'll do it. I'll segue. Speaking of, okay, so today we'll just jump in. Today we're going to talk about something that I saw a little video on Twitter, not Twitter. I saw a little video on TikTok, and it kind of sparked my idea here about past trends, and not past trends as in like the 90s, but
Right.
trends that were very popular right before COVID, during COVID,
Yeah.
like 2019, 2020,
Like kind of
21.
going right into that time. They were picking up
Yeah.
speed and they were becoming really popular.
Yes. And
So
then,
if you're getting engaged, you're thinking, I want to do
All this stuff,
this, and
yeah.
this for my wedding.
and then no one could get married,
Yeah.
and weddings changed tremendously at the end
Oh,
of 21
yeah.
and through 2022, just because of how things shifted. It
yeah.
was just like a permanent wedding shift.
Yes.
And so what we're going to talk about today is if you did get engaged in 2020, 21, maybe 22, probably not, maybe the beginning of 22, but couldn't get married in 2022 because of the insane wedding boom
Yeah.
that was happening, because everybody was getting married, and you're getting married this year. But let's say you've already gotten or purchased
Yeah.
a lot of these things that are now no longer trending. What can you do with them?
Yeah.
How can
I
you
would say even,
repurpose?
I would say even, let's just say you got engaged in like 2018 or 2019, because people can go, like, some people have, a year and a half, 2-year engagements.
Yeah.
So you could have been doing this and buying stuff then, and then boom. And your wedding could have been in 2020
Yeah.
and got,
Pushed back,
canceled
yeah.
or pushed back because you couldn't have it. So I could even see this being
Yeah.
as a result of that. So now you're talking about things that were trending.
Like just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you, let's say you get married now and you have stuff that you purchased in 21 because that's when you got engaged, and you're like, there's nothing available. My venue isn't available until 23, but you already started getting stuff together. You don't want to look at your pictures and be like, shit, this looks like we got married 3 years ago and it
Yeah.
was 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and help out a little bit. We're going to give you some of our professional advice.
Yep.
Our amazing
Always.
ideas. Laura's the creative here, so I feel like she's going to have a lot of input
Uh,
into this. No
was-
pressure.
this is a great topic and I love talking about it, but it wasn't anything that, I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't anything you could really go look up and start researching,
Yeah.
because there's nothing out there that's telling you
Yeah,
really
I had to
what
look
do.
back at like trends in 2021, 2020, a little bit of 22 to
And
see kind of
see how
like-
they're bleeding over into
Yeah.
what's trending now.
So the first one that we'll talk about is custom signage. I have always thought custom signage, while beautiful,
yeah.
completely unnecessary.
Well, yeah. I
The
mean, there's yeah,
I mean, the purpose of a sign is to inform.
right.
And if you're saying like so-and-so's wedding, you're like, yeah, no fucking shit. Like, I know why I'm here.
Hey, they make for great detail pictures.
No, they do. They're beautiful, but it's just a huge waste of money.
it was a trend for sure.
Yeah. And so a way that you can switch this up, if you've already purchased some signs, if you're a DIYer, or if you have a friend, or, maybe your photographer dabbles in like knicky-knack stuff, if you could paint over or redo some of the signage and make it a bar menu,
Right.
or make it something like at the aisle, like pick a seat, whatever. Or if you want to keep it, that's the other thing. If
Yeah.
you plan on keeping it, like framing it, putting it in your house, doing
Right.
something like that, that's great. But if your sole purpose is literally just to say like, welcome to our wedding,
Right.
people already know why they're there,
Right.
and they already feel
Right.
welcomed to be there because they got the invitation.
Yeah. I would
So-
imagine that a lot of those signs, if you are or are not a DIYer and you had them, you like ordered them from Etsy or, you know, had someone local. A lot of those were like the vinyl, like cut vinyl.
Yeah.
Like I just scrape that off, sand it, use a sander maybe, and then like you said, repurpose it and use it for, you know, maybe a seating chart or, you know,
like a bar menu or like something else. Yeah. So reuse that.
It's
Another way.
It's a great idea. Because that would date your pictures immediately. You're like, oh, that was a trend 5 years before you got married.
Yeah. Another way, instead of having like that signage welcome moment, is when people are coming in to the venue, like right as they walk in. So one of the first things that they see, have either like a little champagne bar, or you had at Jackie's wedding, it wasn't right as you walked into the venue, but at the head of the ceremony, Italian ice.
Oh yeah.
So having something like that, that's a little bit more like purposeful, that, oh, it's like fun. It's an experience. It's a moment for your guests to enjoy. That would be something that I would recommend doing and just kind of getting rid of that welcome sign. There's no point for it.
Yeah.
The next one is favors, meaningless favors.
Well, that doesn't even have to be a trend. Even when favors were trending, they're still meaningless.
They're so, we didn't do favors at our wedding. I didn't invest in anything because I don't think you're spending $1 to $3 average.
Gosh, I have a wedding favor in my house that I use still from a friend of mine that got married in the 90s, who was divorced and remarried. And that is the one wedding favor that I still use. And it is like this little, it's not crystal, but it looks like a little crystal bowl, and I use it like at the holidays for candy, and so like I use it.
That's cute though.
But there's no other favor that I've ever received at a wedding that I've used.
Yeah, we didn't even do any favors. We just did like a cute dessert bar, and we didn't do any favors. People do. I know you did koozies for Jackie's wedding, but people do.
You know what? That wasn't really I mean, I guess it could have been a favor because you could take it if you wanted, but it was really to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
To
But like even then, like people use it and then they throw it away.
Yeah.
They don't keep that. So you're spending $1 to $3. I mean, but really,
I know. I have a koozie in my house of like some wedding. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
I don't even fucking know these people.
I'm like, I don't. I'm like, Jackie, like, is this one of you guys friends from a wedding? I don't know. It was like 90. No, it was 2000 something. So I'm like, whose wedding is this?
Yeah, but it's just like,
was I that drunk? I don't.
No one notices though when you don't have a favor.
Yeah,
nobody notices. They're not like, oh my god, maybe they didn't have a wedding favor.
Maybe the older people are like, where's my favor?
Maybe, but even then, like nobody notices. So if you want to use that money, like I said, you're spending $1 to $3. Let's say that's for 150 people. Do the math. Great. So that's what it is.
Don't catch me off guard like that.
And it's just, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of money to spend on something that people honestly are not going to keep.
Yeah.
So instead, some ideas to do would be like doing a past dessert bar, having some snacks out, having something else.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you insinuating that you've set this money aside in your budget and you haven't spent it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you have already spent it and you have already gotten your favors, I mean, you're kind of stuck because most favors are personalized. So you are kind of stuck. There's not really a way that you can
depersonalize.
And reuse and figure out how to
especially if it had a date on it and you got postponed or rescheduled.
Yeah. So just, if you already have them, own it. Who gives a shit?
Cut them up into little pieces and throw them as confetti.
But if you set that money aside, don't do favors, do something like past desserts or have another experience, do something else that could be fun for your guests. Like I said,
snack.
No one fucking cares if you do have favors and nobody notices if you don't.
Yeah.
Waste of time. The last thing we'll talk about in this one, and then we'll take a break, is a guest book.
Yeah.
Bless the little guest book's heart. Nobody's signing it.
Yeah.
I had one, I got married in 2016. I had one set out right in the door as you walked in, and I had 5 people sign it, and I had more than 5 people at my wedding. So no one did it.
Yeah. For Jackie's wedding, I don't even know if this is probably not trending anymore, because I think it goes back into the trend of like the signage and the custom signage, that very farmhousey kind of thing. We had a big mat board for everyone to sign the mat board and then frame a picture and put it in it. But
if you already have a guest book, one thing that you can use is, instead of having people sign it as they walk in, put it by your photo booth and the strips that come off.
I love that.
Yeah. Have a glue stick, put glue on the back of the pictures, and have the people just like write a note next to their pictures.
We did that at my niece's wedding.
I did that at my wedding too. I had a stupid guest book that no one signed, but I had everybody do that. Photo
I
book.
feel like that is not really a trend almost. It's just kind of a fun thing to do with the photo strips while you're there in the photo booth.
Yeah. So that's a fun thing. But now what's trending are the voicemails, like the phone lines.
Yes. So, that is so crazy because the age of people getting married today don't even
know what a rotary phone is.
I know.
They don't leave voicemails.
Don't even leave voicemails, or my kids don't even have them set up on their phone. I call my kid, it rings, it goes to voicemails like, please leave a message for 9. Like they don't even set voicemails up. So the fact that that's a trend right now is really kind of blowing my mind.
I don't know if I think I actually do have a voicemail set up just for work, but I don't think I didn't until I was like, oh shit, I need to set up my voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's just funny though.
It is.
But it is a really fun trend. It makes me think back to the 90s when the guy with the video camera went around.
For the happy couple.
Yeah. May all your ups and downs be between the sheets, you know? Yep.
Yeah.
You can't tell I've been holding on to that one for a long time.
You're just waiting for a moment to use it. Yeah. So like I said, if you already have a guest book, it's not wasted. Just put it by the photo booth. And if you don't have a photo booth, get one. That's dumb. Get one.
Yeah, those are super fun.
They're really fun. So do that. Just use that. The voicemails, that's something that everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do that one.
The voicemail?
Like, hi, that's a lot. Bye. I don't think.
That would be one of the things that would get funnier as everybody continued drinking.
Because you'd have like those certain people that would come,
like the grandma, like, well, good luck, honey. We're so happy for you. And by the end of the night, people are running over to the phone, like, yo, what are you doing?
And they're like the 3 people that keep coming back. And each time they come back, they're just drunker. That would be you coming back each time.
I thought of something funnier to say. Let me go back and leave another voicemail.
Okay, let's take a break and we'll come back and give you some more fantastic ideas. And we're back. What?
I don't know why that's just so funny to me. Oh gosh.
People need to know we're back. We've taken such a long break.
I know. It's so funny though, because we literally sit on the couch and bullshit and recap something and talk about the next thing. And then we're like, and we're back. It's just so funny to me.
I feel like a news anchor.
Just read the copy.
Shut up. Go with it.
Oh, what was that? What was his name? Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever.
The
Evan.
next thing we're going to talk about.
Just read the copy, Evan. The copy's good. Just read the copy.
Oh, on
Bruce Almighty.
Evan Almighty?
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty?
Yeah. He was typing and making Evan, the anchor guy, say it all weird.
Evan Almighty.
No.
Alrighty.
That was the Noah's Ark one. Bruce Almighty was Jim Carrey.
No, I know. Anyway, the next one that we're going to talk about is the sparkler send-off, which I have always fucking hated. Not because I don't think they're beautiful, because it's terrifying. Terrifying.
To run through a sea of sparklers of drunk people?
While you have like taffeta? Yeah. Highly flammable material? Yeah, it's a no for me. I did not do that at my wedding. And the main reason is because Ryan was in a fraternity and we had like 15 of his fraternity brothers coming. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I don't trust people.
Not going to do that. So we did bubbles.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people are doing now.
I'm sure he was super excited about bubbles. Sure, honey. The bubbles.
The pictures are really cute. They're really cute. Really good. But if you've already ordered all your sparklers, there's not a lot of things that you can do with your sparklers. Right. We're going to give you some ideas of what you can use them for. And then we'll give you some ideas of what you can do instead of sparklers. One thing would be to like put it in your cake so you can have like a nice little sparkler cake cute. Moment. You can put them in your centerpieces. Not lit. Just like to add some extra shimmer, some little like sparkle in the middle of them. You can always try to resell them as well. Because people are still doing sparklers.
Yeah. You can save them for the 4th of July too.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
So, you'll just have like 300 sparklers to use for the next 15 years. It's great.
That's okay. We had a bunch left over from Jackie's wedding. And
I remember.
they were in the box. They were the 3-foot ones, you know, because they recommend those now anyway. So you can be far away for what you're talking about. And they were in the box, and I let some of my nieces and nephews light them. And I think it was like, no, it was the day after the wedding. That's what it was. We were all at my house, and she was too close to the box, and it kind of like
spark went off.
And it lit the rest of the sparklers in there. And it was like a freaking, like, I can't even describe it, but it was
a gigantic
ball of fire, literally. And everyone's like, oh my God, get the hose. I'm like, the hose? It was right next to the pool. I'm like, there's a whole pool of water.
Throw it in the water.
Yeah. Anyway, it was funny.
So that is why you don't want sparklers at your wedding, because you will catch your backyard on fire. Only you can stop forest fires, okay? So some other ideas like are bubbles are an idea that you can do. Biodegradable paper like confetti, something like that.
We talked about because again, we got off topic last time we were talking.
Shocker.
And I mentioned the using the hole puncher for leaves.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good idea if you're doing a fall wedding. Even if you're not doing a fall wedding, like some nice bright green.
Yeah, I think that'd be really pretty.
I do too. Glow sticks or something that people are using. Fun. I saw one thing that people had like streamers, like like gymnasts use that.
Oh, the ribbons.
Like, the ribbons. Yeah. They're like the little paper streamers. So it looked really
like
cool.
Those things Chinese things that you.
Nope.
Like, you know what I'm talking about there, right?
Yeah. but like actual like ribbon, but it's not ribbon, it's paper. It's like the little. I don't know.
Like crepe paper, sort of. Sure.
Sure.
Yep. Moving on.
Another thing that you can do instead of having like a crazy exit like that, I know a lot of people still like that, but there are people who are moving away towards a more intimate exit, just like, hey guys, thank you so much, doing like a final toast inside, a final dance, and then the couple kind of goes away and does their own intimate exit, is to have exit snacks.
Oh, that's
like a
cute.
little, instead of doing, and that could be something too that you could put into a favor, like having a little like yummy goodie bag of midnight snacks.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that we're throwing food in as a lot of options here. Clearly we don't like to eat.
That's great because I'd love to have like a bag of chips on the way home.
Right? Like, I'm fucking drunk and I'm hungry as hell.
That's some drunk food right there.
But like
popcorn,
some cheese sticks.
Yeah. I've been to weddings, and this is somewhat off topic, but where they had like 10 o'clock, the like kitchen came out and like they had French fries and like all different toppings, like a French fry bar kind of with like ranch dressing and bacon and cheese. And like, that was really fun.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to absorb.
And they had a mashed potato bar.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like in 5th grade, but I was like, yo, this shit is lit.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fuck that. I went back like 6 times. My mom was like, it's time to come down. I'm like, I love
it's good. It's good at a wedding, like after you've been drinking and dancing and you're not, why can't I talk? You know, the night is coming to a close and you're getting ready to leave. And so it's nice to just be like, well, shit,
here's some carbs, soak it up.
Let's just sit down and have some French fries and
Also, before we move on, I want to say a lot of wedding planners actually hate the sparkler send off.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It can be very dangerous. So
you got to get them lit and then you have to collect them.
Yeah. It's a lot. The next thing are the faux boxwoods. I've always thought that these were extremely tacky.
Depends if you get a good faux boxwood or not.
Yeah. If you're going to go ahead and spring for that, and they're expensive. It's not just like $100 for a boxwood. It's expensive. So if you're already going to put in towards that unnecessary cost,
like a backdrop or
just get a real one. Get a real boxwood that has live blooms on it. It'll look better in your pictures. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but if that's the look you're going for, go for it.
I saw a really cool display that you could probably look it up and DIY it, but it was almost like pallets kind of, because those slats of wood have separations, and then just took a bunch of hanging ferns, like the hanging basket ferns, and just you stick them between the slats, and from the back it looks like a hot mess, but from the front it gave that look of a plant
like
wall,
a live wall.
Yeah, you could even do that with succulents or things that are a little more on trend.
Yeah. So that's actually a really good idea. That's a good option to have. You can always you can always reuse. Just like think a little bit, turn some plants on their side, figure it out. If you have already purchased your faux boxwood, don't fret. We have you.
Yeah. I've seen this. This is cool. A little creepy, but cool.
A little creepy, but cool. Cut out, if possible, if you own it, if you rent it, try to figure out a way to do this. Put a little bell on it and make it a little champagne bar.
Yeah.
So that when people come up, they'll ring the little bell and out will pop a little hand holding a glass.
Yeah, it like comes through the boxwood.
Mm-hmm. And they'll give you your champagne. Put a fresh champagne bar though. Don't leave just like champagne glasses. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and get rid of the champagne walls. Nobody wants warm, bubbleless champagne.
Right.
Just keep a bottle on
Unless
ice. And
unless
that way they can
pour really
fresh. Yeah, a fresh bottle or a fresh glass. They can pour it, pass it out.
Yeah.
Keep that back there.
Wouldn't you love to be the person that's pouring and serving the champagne through the wall?
I'd be shit-faced.
One for you, one for me. Oh my God. Wow.
We're spending too much time
great
together.
minds think alike. Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you're wanting another like background moment and you haven't already purchased your faux boxwood, balloon walls are really big right now.
Yes.
And a lot of the people can reuse some of their balloons. I know that's like a big thing right now. Balloon walls are really big, but you can also do like other fun backdrops. So just like try to look, if you've put that money aside, haven't purchased the boxwood, try to figure out something else to do because now it is a little bit dated.
Yeah. I can't believe how balloons have made a comeback.
I know.
It's just one of those things that to me personally, it's like cheesy and tacky, but it isn't.
Yeah, same. I'm like, I love it, but I also am like,
it's balloon.
Yeah.
Like at the balloon arch.
Yeah.
I think I had balloons at my wedding.
Oh, I did not. My wedding was very minimal, but like classic. But I love a balloon moment.
Yeah.
But I'm also like,
no, it's tacky and cheesy.
yeah, like,
But I will say that the trend of balloons now is a little more, it's more than just, the same size balloon. Like they have these balloons inside balloons and just really cool
they're
stuff.
really good. Yeah.
It definitely evolved.
The next thing that we're going to talk about are palm leaves, the pampas grass,
Yes.
the dried florals.
Yes.
They've had their moment.
Yes.
Let it go.
Yes.
Let it
I mean, they're still
fucking go.
kind of a little popular, but not in
They're fading
weddings.
out. Yeah, they're fading out. Hopefully, because you've probably gotten this through your florist, you don't have your flowers yet. Change your order.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that is for certain something that doesn't get ordered until closer to the wedding.
So you probably still have time to update that. So change that order, get rid of that. If you're wanting, because a lot of people are like, ooh, like, the palm leaves, they're big. Like they'll make it. Just get some nice ivy, some nice greenery. If you're wanting that, like look at what's trending now and find that organic kind of moment.
Yeah.
If you have already ordered them, if you like got them and they're fake and you got them like off of, I don't know, Amazon or something,
Right.
Try to spray paint them if possible. Try to like repurpose them, use them in another moment.
Yeah, use them in a way that could be a little more trendy, something that is happening. I was just thinking of like big palm leaves on as centerpieces. Like if you spray painted them and you decorated them a little bit differently, something that's a little more popular now, that could be really pretty.
Yes. So just try to think of that. Again, if you haven't purchased them yet, change your order, but also faux flowers are really in right now.
Faux flowers are very popular now.
We talked about that
and
in our like trending episode of what's trending this year. There are a lot of people, you probably have some local faux flower florists, but also there's some that are like online, like you order.
They deliver your bouquets.
Yes.
Yeah. Or whatever you're using them for. And then you send them back. That kind of like rent the blooms or something.
Yes. Something like
I've
that.
heard, but that is, and I'll be honest. I think the suppliers that are making the fake flowers now look a lot better from that tacky and cheesy point of view from if we're comparing them to balloons. There's some really nice looking fake flowers out there.
Oh yeah. And to the point where they look absolutely real.
Yeah. We actually went up to a vendor at our last show and I was like, I had to smell it. I was like, oh, okay.
Fake or real.
Yeah. It was that good.
Yeah.
It was that good.
So that's that on that part. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Wow. All right.
Here we are.
If you guys could see what happens when we're not recording, It's probably more entertaining than our actual podcast.
We really should. We really should like one day just put out like conversations that happen like in the breaks.
Oh, we need to prove that.
No, we need to edit some of that because
Some
we
of
talk a lot of shit about you guys. Okay, that's honestly.
Oh
like,
my
that's
goodness.
why. Anywho,
Yeah.
okay, so we have 3 more things that we're
let's
gonna
talk about this wedding trend stuff.
chitty chat about. I'm sure you all remember, and this honestly, this trend, I was surprised when I saw this was not trending anymore. Is the geometric like ceremony backdrops?
Yeah, you know what? When we were talking about the palm leaves and the pampas grass, that just makes those two things go together to me because that was very like boho, like a new take on like the 70s kind of, and that retro geometric boho, the colors, all of that. So I'm not surprised that they're going out with the palm leaves and the pampas grass and all that.
Yeah. I still think they're really pretty. I think I like having a certain thing at the ceremony that just makes it like a little different, gives it a little depth.
I think they're very specific, or anything you put as your backdrop is very specific
to the couple,
or to the trend or whatever it is that you're doing.
Instead of doing these geometric arches, or like some people do like the circles or something, instead of doing that, even if you have bought it already, or even if you haven't, an alternative is lay it down. And if it is a full circle, if it cut a little opening in it and wrap it in flowers, the half circle of the florals on the ground, instead of like where
you're standing in saying your vows.
Those
that's
types
really
of
cool.
arches. You can even raise them up a little bit, like prop it up so that it's not totally flat, give it some levels. That would be a great alternative to that. And that way that geometric arch can be your base of where the flowers are going to go. And even I think too, if it wasn't a total circle, if it was a hexagon or some kind of shape, you could have that in the flowers, and that would kind of bring a little bit of depth as well.
I think that's pretty. And plus it kind of, it's like a focal point. It's like being on a stage or a riser kind of, even though it's flat.
So that one was easy.
Yeah.
Oversized bouquets.
I guess people were like, well, I can't stand it up because that's not a trend, so we'll just knock it down
lay
flat.
It down.
Hey, now it's a trend.
Trending. Oversized bouquets. Those, I've always hated those. I think they swallow up the bride.
Yeah.
They're so distracting. They're so fucking heavy. And like the actual stems, you're like holding a fucking bowling ball in your hand. And you're like, da, 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 da.
Oh, you would have loved my bouquet then.
Like, oh, is yours huge?
It was huge.
I love huge bouquets. I think they are tremendous.
Of course, I think I loved my bouquet, and it was very big. That was the style then.
Yeah.
And not only it wasn't like this big round ball, it was kind of like flat on the front almost, like a spray where it like sprayed out, and then it had a trail that kind of went down too. No. It was pretty.
I bet it was. To me, that's a big no. I don't know if this is y'all's first time or you haven't listened to all of us.
Well, you didn't want flowers at all.
I was going to say, I love flowers. I think they're beautiful, but I did not want flowers. I wanted like small little boops of flowers.
Like
I didn't want to carry a bouquet.
Tussie mussy?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what that is.
What do you call it? Oh, I can't think of it. A tussie mussy, and I think that's the correct term. It's very old fashioned. It's like this little almost like a little brooch of some sort, but it holds flowers.
Ew.
A nosegay. That's what I was going to say. A nosegay. Another great word is a tiny, tiny little bouquet.
Okay. I wanted to carry down a single calla lily, and my mom, that was something she was like, no, you need a bouquet of flowers. So they fully take over the bride, especially if it's a petite bride coming down. I mean, those flowers probably weigh half her body weight, and it is. I mean, you have all those stems. You see everything in there. They have to come somewhere. You're carrying a gigantic handful of stems.
It's probably hard to get your hand around.
Right.
Too.
And so a lot of florists, a lot of wedding planners I saw were saying the same thing. Like they swallow the bride, they take over. They're pretty to look at, but like the whole moment of being walked down the aisle is for everyone to look at you, not this huge waterfall of flowers.
Well, when you're walking down the aisle, one arm is occupied by the person that's escorting you. So it's breaking your wrist off.
And florists and wedding planners will tell you, like, hold your bouquet down at your like waist, down lower than your belly button. Like,
most people go like this.
They're like,
and
hold
then,
it down, hold it down. So not only that, now you're getting a freaking bicep workout.
I was just
you're
gonna
like, I'm just
say.
trying to get fucking married, dude.
I got one arm over here, my wrist is breaking, and my bicep is burning.
Like, that's why brides, when they're walking down the aisle, look like they're in pain, because if it's like a balancing act going on, it's just not for me. I didn't want flowers anyway. So everything right now, they're saying like do like
minimal,
petite,
very small
flowers,
just a little
sprinkle of flowers. I'm just gonna throw this in there. I'm really into the puppy trend. Just walking puppies down the aisle. So, if that's something that you want to do, even if people say that that's out of style, it's not. Puppies all the way. I love them.
I think that would be a very specific thing to the couple. I wouldn't say that like, oh, you know what? That puppy trend is really cool. Let's have puppies walk down the aisle. I think I would.
And then they would all come home with me and I would just lay in bed and have a nice little pup. Speaking of that, and this is something we can go off. When people give their like significant others dogs at their reception for like their wedding gift?
No.
Dumb. This has nothing to do with the episode, but it just made me think of seeing the puppies.
Anything live needs to be a mutual discussion.
Well, but like you're going to go on a honeymoon and you're going to leave this brand new puppy for a week? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
this could be another episode.
Don't buy me anything alive.
Unless I've said okay.
Right.
And if you do, like, give it to me after we get back from our honeymoon. Anyway, I just had to throw that in there. Side note. The last thing we're talking about, which we kind of talked about, like kind of goes in with the florals, is more is more. That was like a big thing. Everyone was doing like the extravagant, over the top, all the flowers, all the sparkle, all the glitz, all the glam. Thank fucking God maximalism is out. Minimalism is in.
Yeah.
Keep it classic.
Right.
Keep it
simplified.
Simple. Yeah. Like make intentional choices. That goes back to the whole sign thing. People fucking know they're at your wedding. So you don't need a sign that says, welcome to Emily and Ryan's wedding. They're like, yeah, no shit. I got the invitation.
Right.
Like, I'm assuming that's what's happening here.
Yeah. It's just about just those small appointments that you're including that are just hinting on the touch of what you're trying to get across, when the focus really needs to be the couple getting married. So it is a nice trend. Minimalism is a nice trend. I do like it.
Like a lot of people now are going towards more of like the organic feel, the simple decor, keeping that in line. I feel like when you do things that are too trendy, you look back
looks
in
very
pictures,
dated.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Sometimes it's hard to get away from that. But, again, if you had started planning your wedding, or you have money put aside, or you've already purchased things, I think the takeaway is just to bring that into 2023, 2024, whenever your wedding actually is, to try to incorporate it. But if you haven't, or you've set money aside for certain things that you're now not going to use, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because minimalism is in, and now you don't need to worry about, I got to buy this, I got to buy this, I got to make signs, I got to do all these other things.
The biggest thing that guests want to have happen at a wedding, and I don't care who you ask and what kind of wedding is happening, they want to have good food, good music, and good drinks. That's it. They don't care. I can guarantee you.
Well, nobody
came to my wedding and was like, not a lot of flowers.
Yeah.
I bet you would ask. Some people might be like, oh my God, there were flowers everywhere. And some people might be like, no, I don't think I saw any. Yeah. Nobody's going to remember that.
Ever going to pay any attention
to what kind of chairs they're sitting in,
to anything that's important to you and your spouse, or your significant other when you're getting married. All of those things are only going to be important to you. People care about what's they're getting out of it. And I know that sounds super selfish.
It's true.
Yeah. But if I was getting invited to a wedding, I guess depending on who it was, I would want to know that I was going to have a good night out.
It's the intentional things. Like, I'm not going to do favors. Instead, I'm going to do past dessert par or a late night snack for everyone as they're leaving. Right. Those things are what people are going to stick in their brains. And again, we always say, like, be true to who you are. Don't go overboard on spending, $60,000 on your wedding, because honestly, It's just not needed. And as long as you have like good company, you have a good group of people around you, you're celebrating you, it's going to be great. But the good thing with this is if you've already bought all this decor, you can turn around and sell that shit. You don't need it anymore.
There's a lot of groups out there on Facebook and other, sites where they do repurpose wedding things. And a lot of the things that we had in Jackie's wedding, I actually gave to a few wedding planners.
I was just going to say wedding planners,
the table numbers and things like that, because it just builds their inventory. And not that they're trying to have an inventory, some do.
Yeah.
So it can build their inventory, or even a florist, like the table numbers and things like that. So we were able to, we just donated that to a lot of people.
Well, let us know if you have any questions of any of this. If you got married recently and you had this problem and you're now finding us and you're like, well, thanks guys. You could have said this
or
a year ago.
I'd just love to know
any input.
Anybody that was in this situation and has recently gotten married and had to repurpose things or what they did with them.
Yeah. Let us know. Send us those stories at stories@cheerstothatshit.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. That's it, right? Instagram, TikTok at Cheers to That Shit podcast. And obviously watch us, subscribe, like on YouTube and Spotify, Apple, blah, blah, blah. You're welcome that we are always so professional on top of it.
We need just a board that hangs up that says those things as if we can't remember them.
But, oh boy. All right. Well, cheers, guys.
Bye.